YouTube land and Patreon patrons and I don't know, anybody else that's watching this some other way. I don't know how you're watching it. You be you. It's cool. I'm John Hartness, and this is the beginning of a multi-part video series called 10 Things I Hate About You. No, wait, no. I don't hate you. I probably don't even know you. I mean, shit. I don't know. Do I hate you? Would I hate you? Do you suck? No. Um, it's 10 things that are wrong with your writing that nobody's telling you that are probably going to keep you from getting published. And then even if you do get published, they will keep you from making any money or getting published again. But that's really long. So we're just going to say 10 things you're doing wrong as a writer. And that's harsh, and it's mean, and it's not nice, and I don't give a single crap about that. My job isn't to be nice. My job isn't to teach people how to write. I am a writer. I am a publisher. I am occasionally an editor. I am a video guy and a podcaster and a con runner and a bunch of other things, but those three things primarily are what I do. I write urban fantasy and fantasy. I publish science fiction, horror, urban fantasy, high fantasy, epic fantasy, romance, paranormal romance, etc. for Falstaff books. See, branding. And I edit some percentage of the work that we produce at Falstaff. It's a low percentage because I have books to write and I have the rest of the company to run, but I do publish some of it. And this is going to be an ongoing series where I talk about things that I frequently see people screwing up that people don't talk about. We hear lots of things about how to get published and how to write better and how to touch your deepest feelings. And what we don't hear is this is what you're fucking up. This is why you're not getting published. And this is why, unless you fix these things, there's not going to be any great mysteries of life unveiled here. This isn't on writing. This isn't the writer's journey. This isn't goal, motivation, and conflict. This isn't Save the Cat or any of the other fantastic books on writing that are out there. This is one publisher who, over the first 3 years that our company existed, accepted 3 books out of our unsolicited submissions. That's over 1,000 submissions. I took 3. Math is not my thing, but I think that breaks down to about 0.3% of the submissions that came in. And we are a very small press. We do not pay advances. We do not have foreign distribution other than what Ingram and Amazon can provide to anyone. We do not have national bookstore placement. I'm very upfront with people that signing with Falstaff Books will not get your books on the New York Times bestseller list. They will not get your book in airport bookstores. Your books will not be distributed to every Walmart in the country. We do produce a quality product with, I believe, top-notch editorial and some incredibly talented writers. And I am a picky bitch in what I take for our company. I can be. We've managed to produce over 100 books in the first 3 years the company's existed, and they're from people ranging from New York Times bestsellers to debut authors. Because I know a lot of people, because I've been on the convention circuit for a decade now, and for some reason people trust me with their work, and well, enough of them know where I live that they know I'm not going to steal their money. So we're about as small as it gets. You can see the glorious office that I work from. This is Falstaff Central, kids. And we got over 1,000 unsolicited submissions and took 3. So, if you have a book and you want to get published, these are things that many people are doing that immediately get them rejected. There's going to be a long list. I call it 10 things you're doing wrong. Last time I checked, there's like 15 things on the list, and there may be a bonus one here or there. But today we're going to talk about copulas, not Coppola, because he's a director, or a vintner, neither of which have anything to do with getting your book published. A copula is defined by Wikipedia as a word used to link the subject of a sentence with a predicate, like the word is in the sentence, the sky is blue. A copula is often a verb, though this is not universally the case. Where copulas are bad in fiction, and everything I'm going to talk about is for genre fiction. Science fiction, fantasy, horror, romance, thrillers, mysteries, cozy mysteries. If you're writing literary fiction, I don't publish literary fiction, I don't read it, I don't edit it. My words are probably irrelevant to you. But if you want to publish any of the genres I just mentioned, which happen to be the biggest selling genres in fucking publishing, you might want to pay attention. What I'm concerned with when I'm looking at a manuscript is the number of iterations of the verb to be. Is, was, am, are, were, had been, all of those things. The sky was blue. He was walking. She was hungry. Okay, she was hungry is probably okay. But most of the time, you really want to limit to the number of copulas that you use. As opposed to he was walking, how about he walked? It had been raining. It rained. When you add a lot of copulas into your writing, it distances the reader from the immediacy of the text. It has you take a step back from being immersed in the world of the story. Why do we care about this? Because when you are distant from the world of the story, the stakes are lowered. You care less. You are invested less. It's why when people manage first person present tense really well, like The Hunger Games is a really well crafted first person present tense. I think it's first person, but it's really well crafted present tense. It's been a while since I read The Hunger Games. I don't remember if it's first or third, but I remember that it's present tense because it was done so well that I didn't notice it was written in present tense. The prose is very immediate. You feel like you're wrapped up with the character. Now, I don't write in present tense. I very seldom like to read a book in present tense. There are very few that I've read that I enjoy. I use The Hunger Games as an example because it's those three books are at least 30% of the present tense books that I've read that I enjoyed. It ain't my thing. I don't read too much YA, and it's frequently a YA thing. Whatever, you be you. You can like what you like. But the thing I want to hammer on is immediacy and removing barriers from your text to the reader, and in this case, the slush reader, the editor. When you're submitting work for publication, you're submitting a sample. Maybe it's 3 chapters, maybe it's 1,000 words. Whatever, 1,000 words is roughly 4 pages. Don't pick those pages out of the middle, asshole. It needs to be the first 4 pages. You have to hook your reader fast. Adding a lot of copulas to your text is going to slow down you getting that hook in and yanking the reader along. I said in 3 years we got around 1,000 submissions. We didn't read all of them. A slush reader is looking for a reason to stop reading. They're also looking for a book that is so goddamn good that they can't imagine stopping reading. You have to take away their reasons to stop, and you have to create something that grabs you by the throat and drags you into the story. I directed a play once called Moonlight and Magnolias, and it's about the legendary rewrite of Gone with the Wind. Legend has it that Selznick, who was the producer of the film, hated the way the script was going, fired the this is true. He fired the director, brought in a new director, and they worked over the course of a weekend to rewrite the whole script. Well, Moonlight and Magnolias fictionalizes this potentially fictional instance, and one thing that the Selznick character says in that book, in that play, is that Scarlett O'Hara grabbed me by the balls and never let go. That's what your prose has to do. And if he had walked, if it had been raining, if I walked into the room which had formerly been a drugstore, or it was a closed bar, it takes that away. I don't want to know what you had been doing. I don't want to know that you had seen. I saw. I had shot someone. I had shot someone 2 days ago. I shot the son of a bitch 2 days ago. Cut out, if you are an unpublished writer, and everything I'm going to say is designed towards writers who have not been traditionally published. If you have worked with reputable, experienced editors, these things have probably been beaten out of you already. But if you are an unpublished writer and you want to be published, go through your manuscript. Remove 8 out of every 10 instances of the verb to be. Your prose will be tighter and stronger for it. And you will think of new ways to say things. He had been walking for days. He panted through the last steps of his week-long march. One of those sentences is better than the other. You don't actually get to decide which is better, because the one without a fucking copula is better, because that's the point of the video. You get what I'm saying? So that's your tip for today, is go through your text and cut out as many is, was, were's, had beens, as many iterations of the verb to be as possible, and then strengthen the verbs that you're using. This will tighten your prose, it will grab your reader, and it will not ever let them go. And it will make it much easier to publish you. I'll be back a little later with the second thing I hate about your writing. That's what we're going to call this. We're going to call this 10 Things I Hate About Your Writing. I don't know shit about your writing. You may be brilliant. You may be the next Pat Rothfuss. Shit, you might be the Pat Rothfuss. I don't know. If you are, hi Pat. Odds are, you're not. So you need every advantage you have. And cut out your copulas, and your prose will tighten up and it will flow better. Until next time, y'all be good to one another, all right?